Cher's life has darkened at 78, not anticipated. In June 2025, cops spotted son Elijah acting oddly with narcotics in his house and brought him to the hospital. That's only the start. She lost her virginity at 14 for revenge and had an affair with her mother's best friend, age 35, according to her stunning memoir. He's 40 years younger than her, and her kids won't talk to her. The legend's true state will leave you stunned. Cher was born in El Centro, California, on May 20, 1946. Her mother, Georgia Holt, wanted to perform at 20. Her father, Armenian-American truck driver John Sarkisian, struggled with gambling and drugs. His parents endured the Armenian genocide, which seemed to weigh on the family from the outset. The Georgia-John marriage ended. Georgia divorced within months. Cher's early days were chaotic. Her father rarely visited and caused trouble when he did. Cher was 10 months old when her father did something terrible. Without telling Georgia, he placed Cher in a Catholic orphanage. Georgia was devastated. She could only visit her baby once a week and couldn't hold her. She could only see Cher via a window. Georgia refused to give her baby up for adoption, despite the nuns' efforts. She would do anything to reclaim her daughter. Life wasn't easier afterwards. Georgia married repeatedly. 8 times, she married 6 guys. Some marriages lasted months, others years. Cher had new homes, schools, and men each time. Sometimes they were penniless. Others lived in Beverly Hills mansions. Cher felt out of place everywhere. She felt out of place due to the continual change. She gained self-reliance as a child. Always, money was tight. Cher sometimes used rubber bands to keep her shoes together. They barely made ends meet in inexpensive motels. Georgia waitressed while pursuing acting. Georgia sometimes considered adopting Cher to offer her a better life. Cher watched her mother persevere, acquiring strength from her. Cher was close to Georgia's husband, John Southall. Cher believed he was her father. Sober, he was kind, but drinking changed everything. Cher described him as a raging drinker. The house could be scary or safe. Cher's marriage ended when she was 9, yet she still felt anxiety and tension. It made her realize how dangerous instability was and strengthened her resolve to stand alone. School was another fight. Cher's undetected dyslexia made reading and writing difficult daily. Nobody understood dyslexia then. Teacher believed she was lazy. She felt dumber than the other kids. She memorized everything to survive, but it was taxing. She quit school at 16 in 1962. She left for LA with her belongings. She had no diploma or contacts, only a dream. Saw Sonny Bono shortly after arriving. He was 16. He was 27. A mutual buddy introduced them at a coffee shop. Previously, Sonny worked in music. He appreciated Cher's unusual look and rich voice. He initially saw her as a younger sister, but this meeting altered everything. In LA, things were tough. Her roommates kicked her out because she couldn't pay rent. She had nowhere to go. Sonny let her live with him, not as his girlfriend, his unpaid housekeeper and assistant. Cooked, cleaned, ran errands, and learned. She observed the music industry. She took it all in. Sonny had big Cher plans. He encouraged her to dress, to show off her figure. He wanted her to shine. He taught her stage presence, singing, and audience engagement. His remarks can be caustic. He told her, "You have no shape, but listen." Eventually, she believed in herself. In summer 1965, Sonny and Cher's life changed forever. Their song "I Got You, Babe" was more than a success. It burst. Sonny penned and recorded it at Gold Star Studios in Hollywood on June 7th. Few weeks later, it was released. The song topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks. Over 3 million U.S. copies were sold. Some estimate the global figure was 4 million. The same year, it went gold. Sonny and Cher appeared everywhere. In September 1965, they had 5 top 40 singles. That kind of achievement was rare. Baby Don't Go, Just You, and Laugh at Me were charting. They got popular for their music and appearance. Cher and Sonny's straight hair and mustache drew tens of thousands of fans. The song took them abroad. Number 1 in the UK and Canada. Top 10 in Europe and Australia. Everything happened fast. Cher later compared it to a tornado. Despite the celebrity, things weren't great. Their romance began with deception. For publicity, they faked a marriage in 1964, aged 18. Sonny was 27. The age disparity boosted interest. People thought they were married. They appeared healthy, but it was a facade. They married afterwards. Then things got dark. Sonny ruled everything. Who Cher saw, sung, and looked like was up to him. Cher termed servitude involuntary. None of her decisions were her own. Their commercial agreement concealed the worst. Cher discovered the truth years later. Their contract granted Sonny 95% of everything. Cher had no vote, rights, or money. David Geffen read the contract and informed her of their divorce. Cher worked for Sonny throughout. Her name was blank. Cher felt confined with Sonny. She claimed she could only obey him. She couldn't see friends or bandmates. She needed approval for everything, even for movies or perfume. She couldn't play softball with Mum. Sonny considered her interests stupid. Set up Cher Enterprises. It made him boss. Cher was a low-wage worker. She couldn't handle her money or sign checks. She didn't realize her contracts bound her to this horror. She was devastated when she learned the truth. She described it as a gut punch. All her efforts failed. Sonny's deception deepened. Assumed they split their profits like married couples. Sonny had ensured total control. He owned 95% of their firm. The last 5% consulted his lawyer. Cher was paid when Sonny wanted. After their fame diminished in the late 1960s, money problems began. Sonny's bad choices landed them in dinner clubs. To survive, they sang in hotels and casinos. Cher couldn't even write checks. Sonny did not tell her. She claimed years of robbery, emotional abuse, and domination. After their 1975 divorce, she learned money basics. Dave Geffen helped her regain control. 1969, they had chastity bono. The delight faded. The pregnancy was terrible. Doctors put Cher to bed rest for months. After giving birth, Cher nearly died from hemorrhage. She called it touch and go. Not having Sonny hurt the most. Cher had no idea where he went. She was lonely when she needed him. Nobody anticipated the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour to alter television when it premiered on August 1, 1971. It was meant to fill a summer schedule gap, but it became viral. Within weeks, millions tuned in. CBS liked the show so much that it got a primetime spot by December. It remained in the Nielsen Top 20 weekly. Cher's wit and Sonny's clumsiness were irresistible. The performance featured Bob Mackey's outrageous costumes, hit songs, and political and celebrity parodies. Ronald Reagan, Farrah Fawcett, Dick Clark, and the Jackson 5 attended. Off-camera, the show kept Sonny and Cher in the spotlight as their music career declined. Although they made people laugh on film, their marriage was crumbling. The show ended in 1974 after their divorce due to mounting tension. Cher was also making music history. She had 3 solo number ones from 1971 to 1974. Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves debuted in September 1971. The song was number 1 in November for 2 weeks, and in Canada. It reached number 4 in the UK. The song's harsh story about a teenage Romani girl startled listeners and won Cher a Grammy Award. Her 1973 album It debuted at number 1 in the US and addressed mixed-race identities. The murder and betrayal ballad Dark Lady followed in December 1973, likewise topping the charts. No female artist had ever had 3 #1 hits so rapidly. She achieved it all while starring on a major TV show. Few could equal the fame and hard effort. Hit her maximum on October 1972. She felt confined after lengthy nights at the Sahara Hotel and taping their show. She requested a European vacation from Sonny. He laughed and said she made him money. That moment changed everything. Cher realized she didn't have to die to stop hurting. Though difficult, she might leave him. She was 26 and had never lived without Sonny, managed all money. She couldn't sign her checks. He directed her who to see, what to wear, and if she may use perfume. An odd arrangement was reached to maintain peace. She lived alone on weekends, but with him during the week for the show. It was the first step towards liberation and made her the tremendous personality we know today. Found a new supporter by Christmas 1973. Met David Geffen at the Roxy and fell in love quickly. Cher described how Sonny trapped her. Sonny had modified Cher's contracts so she owned nothing, including her own work, Geffen discovered. Geffen helped her fight back. She broke those unfair contracts with his help. He empowered her to lead. They announced their relationship during the 1974 Grammys, surprising everyone. Cher was proposed to and gifted by Geffen. He helped her land a $2.5 million Warner Brothers contract. A turning point. Sonny was enraged, but Cher was free. In February 1974, Sonny sealed the deal. He filed for divorce, claiming irreconcilable differences. Truth was ugly. Cher sued him for forced labor. She claimed he stole her earnings and ruled her. The pair pretended everything was fine while taping their show, arguing bitterly behind the scenes. Media swarmed on the divorce. Son tried to ruin her career. He predicted public hatred of her. They even fought over Chastity's custody. Finally, won custody. Their marriage terminated June 26, 1975. The court battle cost them hundreds of thousands and ended their partnership. Cher's life has always been glitter, heartbreak, and wild turns. The public was astonished when she married Gregg Allman 4 days after divorcing Sonny Bono on June 30, 1975. The Las Vegas wedding was quick, finished in minutes. Only 2 buddies attended. No honeymoon, no huge celebration. Simply an unexpected jump. Cher landed in an unexpected storm after this leap. Gregg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band struggled with heroin and alcohol from the outset. Cher quickly realized she was in pandemonium. Their marriage was a sensational roller coaster of breakups, makeups, and drama. Cher filed for divorce in 9 days. She spotted Gregg's white powder bag and heard that he was leaving. A terrible Jamaican honeymoon made matters worse. Gregg, desperate for narcotics, knifed her to escape. Media ate up the story. Gregg unexpectedly entered rehab. Cher ended the divorce. A month later, they reunited. Born in 1976, Elijah Blue was their son. To the Hard Way was their Allman and Woman album. It failed. Rolling Stone deemed it worthless. Addiction and heartbreak marked the marriage until 1979. Cher's post-Allman romance dominated tabloids. Gene Simmons was her boyfriend from 1977 to 1980. Was crazy for him, she claimed. Record mogul David Geffen supported her. Val Kilmer, 1982 to 1984, followed. Their kisses were so strong, Cher thought her head would shoot off. Cruise followed. They met at Madonna and Sean's 1985 wedding. Subsequently named Cruise one of her top 5 lovers. Yes, more. Hockey player Eric Stoltz, Ron Duguay. Every romance was rumor, but Cher didn't hide. She discussed everything frankly, sometimes humorously. She frequently mentioned her affection for Rob Camilletti. Met in 1986. Rob was 22 and Cher 40, working in a bagel shop. The press called him Bagel Boy, and derided their age disparity. Rob appeared in her music videos. He watched her win Best Actress for Moonstruck at the 1988 Oscars. Media wouldn't leave them. Rob broke the cameras of photographers camping outside their home in 1989. Cher paid $2,000 bail and defended him after his arrest. She named him "My Only Love." Pressure was excessive. They broke up later that year. Cher made her acting debut with Silkwood in 1983. She played working-class Dolly Pellicker, a whistleblower's sad victim. She received an Oscar and a Golden Globe for the performance, and the film received 5 Oscars in 1984. The Silkwood estate won $10 million, later settled for $1.3 million, the greatest settlement around. Cher showed she wasn't only a singer-actress. She was genuine. Moonstruck, 1987, cemented her film legacy. Cher played Brooklyn widow Loretta Castorini, who rekindles love. It grossed over $91 million at the 1988 Oscars. Cher won Best Actress, Olympia Dukakis Best Supporting Actress, and Best Original Screenplay. Cher's bold black clothing and words are remembered. Critics stopped doubting her. Not only a pop star anymore. Oscar-winning actress. Her 1985 Mask performance demonstrated her emotional depth. She played the mother of a rare skull-condition boy. Behind the scenes was chaos. The director Peter Bogdanovich fought Universal. The film was shortened by 8 minutes and replaced Springsteen's songs with Seeger's. Also fought Bogdanovich. However, her unvarnished performance won Best Actress at Cannes and earned her another Golden Globe nod. Battles over the film became as legendary as the film. She wowed MTV and the Navy with her 1989 If I Could Turn Back Time video. She performed on the USS Missouri in a very obvious leather attire. Not what the Navy expected. The daring video was banned by MTV before 9 p.m. Navy ashamed. Cher altered Navy policy. Ship music videos ended, but the song was a smash. Cher won again by upsetting things. October 1998 brought an unexpected event. Cher released Believe, her 22nd album at 52. A music legend was supposed to release another great album. The result was Revolution. The title song, Believe, revolutionized pop. For the first time, auto-tune was employed to generate a strong, robotic, warbling sound. Mark Taylor and Brian Rawling, the producers, overbuilt the tool. People called this unique and fresh sound the Cher effect. They initially sought to hide their actions. The vocoder's sound was revealed to reporters, but the secret was short-lived. The music industry split. Some were happy, some were outraged that a studio trick was revealed, but everyone tried auto-tune within a year. Later, artists like T-Pain built careers on it. Pop and dance music would change. Believe altered more than music, overtook the charts. It immediately topped the UK charts. The stay was 7 weeks. About 1.79 million copies were sold in Britain. No other UK female performer has broken that record. Globally, the song topped 23 charts. It sold over 11 million copies. It was Cher's 5th single to top the Billboard Hot 100. It was 1999's top tune. Cher's age added to the shock. The oldest woman to top the Billboard Hot 100. Believe earned her a Grammy, a Guinness World Record, and Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs list. Not an ordinary comeback. History happened. Cher went beyond the studio. From 2008 to 2011, she governed Vegas. She played 192 Caesars Palace concerts. Nearly 700,000 admirers saw her. Over $97 million was made. Cher earned $60 million for the run. Massive production. Over 100 individuals worked behind the scenes. Robert Mackey developed 17 costumes for 14 dancers and 4 aerialists. She mixed fashion, technology, and spectacle every night. Her peak salary was $60 million. She may outperform modern music singers in her 60s. Cher battled personal issues behind the glamour. She had sons, Chaz and Elijah. Fame and parenthood collided. She loved her kids, but felt torn. "I'm really pissed off, Mum," Chaz said on a school trip. "Never stop being Cher." Both sons fought. Chaz struggled with his identity before revealing his lesbianism, later becoming masculine. Addiction and relationship issues plagued Elijah. Doing her best. Though she worked hard, she frequently wished she could have given her sons a simpler life. She still admires their strength. December 2023 was the breaking point. Cher requested court oversight over Elijah's finances. She feared he would spend money on drugs and risk his life. She thought Mary Angela King, his wife, couldn't assist him either. The lawsuit lasted 9 months. At first, the court declined. Elijah was sober and managed his money. Elijah and slowly resolved things quietly. Cher dismissed the case in September 2024. Mother and son seek family healing. Trouble returned in June 2025. Elijah was suspiciously acting at home, police said. He was 48. The house had narcotics. He was hospitalized quickly. Initially, no cause was given, although some suspected another overdose. Elijah's wife said he struggled to stay sober and face his issues. It showed how difficult life can be for famous offspring, despite their love and stardom. Cher, the memoir, Part 1, was no ordinary celebrity book. Exploded on scene. It topped the New York Times bestseller list. 150,000 copies sold in the first week. At 60, she showed she still had the world's attention. The book outsold younger pop stars and prominent authors. But numbers weren't all that made headlines. It was harsh honesty. Cher revealed decades-old secrets. Critics and fans were hooked. The memoir was one of the most discussed in years. Cher's 14-year-old virginity loss was stunning. She didn't pretend romance. She stated the truth. Revenge. Boy humiliated her in front of friends. Cher spoke things that were inconceivable in 1960. She said that it was about regaining control, not love. It shocked readers. The revelation triggered difficult discussions about consent, teenage pain, and what girls went through then and still go through now. Her year-long affair with her mother's best friend at 14 was another surprise. He was 35. She called him Blonde Tom Selleck. Relationships began in 1960. She kept it from her mother, talked of her remorse, confusion, and loneliness. Betrayal captivated readers. Her mother's acquaintance exploited her. The story raised questions about predatory behavior and its effects. Cher's courage in exposing it forced people to face terrible facts. Cher continued. She described her terrible marriage to Sonny Bono. She described catching him cheating with his secretary. She woke to whispering and rustling one night. 2 individuals stood in the low light. The moment broke her heart. Not just one affair, said Sonny cheated often. She was trapped and betrayed behind the pleasant public image. Readers felt her anguish through the honest facts. It ended their perfect partnership myth. Cher no longer slows. Part 2 of her memoir will be released November 18, 2025. Another 480 pages of stories. Said she fought to include hard realities, but they must be communicated. She promises fans she'll add them later. After 70 years in the spotlight, she still surprises. Cher is also filming with Francis Ford Coppola. They discussed resurrecting a 20-year-old initiative. While partying with Salvador Dali, a rubber fish was mistaken for a toy. Cher's return to acting at 78 demonstrates her enthusiasm. Cher may be finishing her last album. Security is keeping it a secret to prevent leaks. She suggested it's private. At least 8 tracks are done. Fans await the conclusion of her great music career. Cher's romance has also garnered attention. Relationship with Alexander A.E. Edwards, 39, made headlines. They met at the 2022 Paris Fashion Week. Their 40-year age gap startled many.